All right, here we go. Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here this afternoon with our new UK friends, Bears in Trees. Thank you so much, guys, for hopping on today, tonight, your time right now, and getting this going. We're so stoked to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Should we introduce ourselves in some form of fashion? Yes, I agree, me. I play bass and I sing. I'm going to do a little air horn now to show that I'm great.
Yeah. Got him.
What about your knife?
Your
knife trick. I immediately forgot the organized fun. So I reckon I could probably pull off a knife trick, and it's with that confidence I know I would fail at a knife trick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair play. My name's Nick. I play guitar. I haven't attempted a knife trick. I have seen knife tricks attempted around me. I'm always in awe, but not for me. Not for me.
You're literally looking around at your friends and being like, I don't know. I don't really feel safe right now answering.
I don't know, team.
Nick gets knife trick energy vicariously from me, I think.
Hello, I'm George. I play drums and I produce. And let's be honest, I'm too scared to do a knife trick.
I've never seen you hold a knife.
No, knives
spoons
terrifying.
only.
Yeah, I'm a spoon kind of guy.
Thanks, George. I'm Callum. I sing and play the ukulele and do keys. I think that's it. And I think I'd try. And you've got to do it. I think if you're given the opportunity, you've got to throw some knives. And I would definitely fail. I think I'd lose a finger.
You think
I'd no longer be playing ukulele.
Oh, a whole finger.
Damn.
Which finger do you reckon you could
I guess it
lose?
depends. If I lost the pinky on my right hand, I'd probably be all right.
But with piano, you'd be screwed.
Yeah, I'd lose in a bit of range there.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work.
You just Def Leppard it, you know? You'd figure out what you have to do to keep playing it without the pinky finger.
Fit on it, but yeah.
Then you get more range.
Yeah.
You actually adapt, evolve, overcome.
Are we at the level where we're calling it Def Lepparding it? Is that a real?
You said it.
You said it. That's on you.
But y'all went with it, so I'm like, well, I must be onto something here. Like,
It's the chaotic energy that won over the organized energy.
Fantastic. We have you on because you have a new record coming. Well, I guess it's already out because it was released on November 19th, and Everybody Else Smiled Back, which I am a big fan of that name. I like it.
Horns.
So that just came out. Do you want to tell us about the record? Do you want to tell us about all the stuff you got planned for it? It's only a couple weeks since it was released. So how's it been? What's the reception been like?
So that was a lot of questions all at once.
I mean,
I'll answer them one by one.
It's a vibe. It's not really a question. It's more of a vibe, and you just answer whatever you vibe with, right?
Oh my God. You want to talk about this? Yeah, I get it. So the album, basically, and Everybody Else Smile Back, is it's a collection of experiences surrounding a certain time of our lives, and they go through, I think, a lot of topics of maybe like emotional trauma, connection with friends, helping friends through dark times, but also those happy, joyful moments that break up those experiences, and real kind of constructive reflections on those, not just wallowing in the sadness, not just kind of committing like full-heartedly to the joy, but remembering that the best and worst moments of your life have a moment after, and it's that kind of critical, constructive reflection on how do we grow, how do we connect after those moments, and that's what the album is about. How it's been received, really, really well. I'm really happy because we think it's like the best thing we've ever done. Obviously, I mean, we wouldn't release it if we didn't. But it's nice to see how much everyone just like listened front to back and really like sat with it and really understood the narrative that we were going for in the kind of the chaotic mess that is that album. Does anyone else want to say?
I like to talk about things we have to come. There is a, I think people know it exists. They do now. There's another music video to come along from from the album. So we had 3 beforehand, and now we've got like another song which we really want everyone to hear and want everyone to know about. So we've got another music video coming, which I think is going to be. Is it my favorite video from the set?
I like all of the videos really much. I think I'm really excited for it to come out though. Like, it's a really good video.
I think it's going to be great.
When can we expect that to drop?
The music video?
December 9th.
December
9th. I just found that as well.
Hell yeah.
Surprise, everybody.
Your videos are really stylistic too. So I was watching through them. I was watching the one for, I'm doing push-ups was the one I watched earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I don't understand what that means. It must be a British phrase.
No.
Oh, it's the turn of phrase. You know, I'm doing push-ups. You know what up? But it was like, wow, this is like really stylistic. This is really like. I was a big fan of the makeup, and I'm like, am I underdressed for this interview? Like, I should be wearing makeup. Yeah. So you seem to want to explain what I'm doing push-ups means.
I was more going to explain the music video, and by that I mean not explain the music video to any degree.
Perfect.
But
Love it.
the actual phrase "I'm doing push-ups."
Yeah, so it's from an author called Joseph Heller, the guy who wrote Catch 22, and it's like a deleted chapter from that book. And basically, the book is about a fighter pilot in World War II, who gets into some like very silly, very funny, very terrible situations. And there's one point where he's like training to become a fighter pilot, and his like commanding officer is like, if you're injured and you fall behind enemy lines, you need to keep your strength up while you're waiting for the ambulance. So you need to do push-ups. Make sure you're doing push-ups while you're waiting. And it's just like a very silly scene.
Catch 22 is one of mine and Nick's favorite books. We make a lot of references to it, and I think the whole book is always about these ridiculous, like, ironic takes that show the absurdity of life. So another one where this one guy wants to live forever and tries to make all of his experiences as boring as possible, because the more bored you are, the more time slows down, and so you live longer. And it's like the same kind of thing. You got to keep your strength up, so you got to do push-ups whilst you wait for the ambulance. So the music video, though, is a wildly different experience, and an experience where you tried to make it. We were all in this room, walking around, like pacing, going, okay, what if? And then Callum just goes, what if we do a pastiche of that scene in Alien where the alien bursts out of the chest, but it's I don't know, Elmo, but shaved Elmo. And we're like, yeah, write it down. We have this huge list of things. I think ultimately with all our things, we just want to create an experience that reflects what's going on in the song. And I think for me, that song is about thinking you know what's right for yourself, but actually being in a hazy, confused mess. And it's that kind of, we wanted to reflect that in the music video, I think.
Other scenes from that video written down were eat a corn on a cob as quickly as possible while looking in the mirror. Also on the list was just Spider-Man in capital letters. Didn't appear in the video ever. There was no Spider-Man. I don't think we'd get the rights to do it, but that got scrapped. But that was an idea, just Spider-Man.
It's lost the time.
What it meant, who knows?
I was about to say, would everyone would have had the like dressed up as Spider-Man though, or would it just been one singular Spider-Man?
It could have been anything. We don't know.
Open-ended.
Yeah, just really anything.
The thing that threw me off the most was not the blood, not the violence. It was that the corn on the cob was in a French press.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand how this is even like it like shocked me to my core, as you can tell. I'm speechless.
Best corn on the cob I've ever eaten. It was,
oh my God.
So we didn't have corn on the cob. I think we forgot to get it. So I ran around to a Tesco around the corner, picked up these
Other
like
supermarkets are available.
packet of 2 corn on the cobs, realized there was no microwave in the photography studio. The only thing they had was this French press and a kettle. So I was like, right, you got lemons, you make lemonade, right? So put the French. I'm calling it a French press. Is that the American?
Yeah,
I call it a cafetiere. I don't know. If
I think either.
Sure,
is
yeah.
either one.
I'm changing it.
Either or.
Put the corn on the cob in, and then added boiling water. When that started to get cold, took that out, added more boiling water, and about 3 or 4 times kept adding boiling water. It was so good. Genuinely.
Wow.
You look like you were really enjoying. Like the emotion you see in the video is true emotion.
It was
Callum's
temperature was sweet. It was brilliant.
This was a total labor of love.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, this is also the new survival skill technique that you do when you go into the wild for some weird reason and you're camping for some weird reason. You say, "That's it, guys. I'm using the French press to make all my food now."
You're in the wild.
You're in the wild.
You're deserted.
Yeah.
All you've got
Is a corn on the cob tree and a French press bush, and you need to make it work.
You're in the
This is
most
actually
specific.
This is the new Survivor challenge.
I wanted to just be like, that was weird. I was like, that's just weird. And I was like, oh, it must have just been a weird thing. But the fact that that was like a whole story,
Everything
Yeah.
is a story.
Yeah.
it was just fucking awesome. I was like blown away. So fucking good.
I did want to ask. So I found it really interesting that a lot of your references here relate back to novels, and me being like a fucking nerd and reading a lot, I find it quite interesting that kind of like a modern emo band is taking a lot of like perspective and like scenarios that are in different literary novels. So what kind of made you look into those aspects of it?
I think in terms of the bands we look up to, Ian and I, a lot of them reference kind of, I mean, like the Wonder Years are the big example. Like CP always references like Bukowski and like novels he reads, and it's like it feels, when you hear that, you kind of feel like you're part of the world. It's almost like it kind of removes one of the barriers between you and the artist or the lyricist or the person behind the song. And I think just like having that shared experience of like knowing what the novel's about or being able to kind of show someone what the novel's saying is like a really good way to tell a story without having to like recite your own story 1,000 times.
I think ultimately we draw inspiration from like loads of places. I think obviously literature is a really inspiring place. There are references to like really obscure poems. There's references to specific painters and artists. There's like, I think ultimately we're trying to find our voice, and to find your voice, you draw inspiration from all these places and understand what your experience is via that reflection, I think. But yeah.
Plus, Nick has a degree.
Nick
in
has a
English
degree in
literature.
English literature,
So
so
that
that's
helps.
probably
Okay.
a lot of those
That'll
That'll
do
do
it.
it. Yeah.
He reads a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just wanted to say that I just thought it was so interesting because also you have like this entire like album title is based off of like a paraphrase quote from a novel. So I was like, okay, so we really ran with it here.
From A Secret History. Well, I think that came after like we wrote all the songs, and we were sitting there, and we were literally like, and this was we were on a call, and we were sitting there, okay, what are the aesthetics of the album? Truly trying to understand what the world we were building was, and we were like pulling up, like, okay, I think George was like, I really like this 80s like geometric color motif, and then I was like, okay, but that kind of reminds me of like the constructivist movement in the 1950s of like paintings. We want to incorporate that, and then we were coming up with the album. We were really on this vibe of like, okay, what can we draw from? And Nick was reading A Secret History at the time, and we were spitballing titles. And Nick was like, "What about And Everybody Else on My Back," which is from this specific scene that really spoke to Nick at the time. And immediately we're like, yes, that is it, because it encapsulates this moment. I don't think it's necessarily about the book as much as it is about this one scene where you are in this space, and you're finally feeling like you are being reciprocated in being connected with after all the mess and the chaos. But also the And Everybody Else on My Back, we really liked just that bit because it adds this ambiguity of what were you doing and everybody else smiled back. It's like, were you panicking and everybody else smiled, not really knowing that you were going through that? Or were you smiling and everyone smiled back? Or were you embarrassing yourself and everybody else smiled back? Were you crying? Like it adds this ambiguity that can really change depending on the situation, which is what the album's about. It's about these moments that by contextualization really change their meaning. Lots of big words.
Nailed it.
Big words. Big words.
It's kind of like the phrase of like I'm drowning, so you're like waving your hand and somebody like waves back from the shore and you're like, hi.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that came to my mind, and now I'm like, okay, whatever you think that you're doing when they smile back, that describes your personality. So I'm like, I'm drowning.
I'm drowning in everybody else smiled back.
Tag yourself. I'm drowning. Did you know? Oh, sorry.
I was about to say, from this, you guys recently also released a card game, which we've always talked with people who have like different promo things going on, but this is like a new level. So are we doing like trading cards? Or are we like Yu-Gi-Oh, Bears and
Pokemon?
Trees?
Is this Pokemon?
I wish.
We've always had a love for doing weird merch things. Like we'll do the t-shirts, we've done, hats, jumpers, that kind of thing. But we always really wanted to do socks. And finally for this release, Cyrex, they're releasing socks. So that's done, ticked off. And like
we did a coloring book.
We did a coloring book. So we always wanted to do weird kind of wacky stuff. And the card game was on the cards for a while. It was a thought. And it was just actually getting down to making it was difficult. So I went through a few revisions. Originally, it was on just like scraps of square paper, and you wrote it all down. Essentially, it's like a skirmish game. I don't know if you have top trumps in the US. Oh, they're a very UK thing. Essentially, you have characters and songs, and each one has 4 categories. So one is
number of tracks,
release date, chaos level, and perceivability.
Chaos level?
Chaos level. It's
Fantastic.
a theme.
Everyone drop your chaos level right now.
I think mine's like 98.
Yours is quite high.
Out of 10? Out of what?
Out of 100.
Okay, sure. Okay.
98 out of 10, yeah.
And then you battle these cards against each other as like around each other, and then whoever wins collects the cards, and the game is to get all the cards. But to make it interesting, we added magic cards as well. So you have cards in front of you, which you can play at any time during the game to completely, like, just absolutely ruin the game. So some of the cards are like swap decks with someone else. So for example, if someone is about to win, they have all the cards and you have one. But if you can play that magic card, you can get all the cards and completely swap the game around.
I recently tried to play it, and we were just playing the normal top trump. We had the magic cards in front of us. We weren't really reading them, and we were just playing. I was like losing quite a lot. I was like, I need to change this up. And I looked down. I was like, oh my goodness, they're just so ridiculously powerful. And as soon as I mapped out a plan and immediately destroyed everyone else. I was like, the magic cards. That's where it is.
That's where the magic is.
It's like you're balancing the game, but then you're just like, nah, fuck it. We're just gonna get like just as crazy as possible, right? And it's beautiful.
I think like part of it is we've always wanted to like build the world around the band. And like we always talk about building a community and building like a space, not just, like all the people who follow our music, they're not fans, they're sandboxes. They're part of the big community. So I feel like for us having the game just adds to that. Like I really hope this is anyone who's watching and you're coming to a show. If you play the card game in the queue, I will love you forever. It just would fill my little heart with so much joy to see people using it and playing it.
And make some new friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we're always about trying to make new experiences for people, positive experiences where they can connect with their friends or be like have a good time. And like t-shirts and hats, they're nice. You can decorate yourself with those. But like coloring book, you can have fun just coloring that on your own while you're listening to music, or you can play cards with your friends. And that seems more seems fun. It seems more fun.
Listen, you could always try to open up the pit with the card games.
Hell yeah.
Card pit.
And that's it. Yeah.
Hell
Wall of Death. Magic card.
Drop your decks.
Activate. My chaos level is better than yours.
Drop your decks on the floor.
That's actually how, instead of like when my friends and I do Wall of Death, we usually yell at each other like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then people are concerned. You'll just say like, my chaos level is this much. I'm out for you. And that's it.
Like arrange yourself by your chaos level. So if you're like about a 4, you're like down at one end, and if you're like I'm 108, I'm coming in.
And so people can like get blank cards, and people can self-insert their own cards.
That's
really
good.
There you go. That's round 2.
Wow.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for the idea.
There you go. This is also a marketing circle
Every-
around this podcast.
Let's get the
Sometimes it
focus
all
group
works out.
going.
Every time we start
Emo
talking about like
social
cool
focus
merch
group.
ideas, we have an emo social focus group, and we just go, oh, here's an idea, and it's like, all right, you guys take that one, you got that one. We'll take another one for ourselves later. So you guys do vlogs and Twitch streams. This is me reading off the notes. So that's probably why everybody here in the Twitch stream is here and active, and the Q thing that you just mentioned, they're saying it before you said it, and I'm like, like y'all know. So how has that been? Like, I'm assuming this is a thing of like lockdown, and also just to get the music out there and get your personalities out there. But how has that been for you guys?
Yeah, super fun. I think that like we kind of over lockdown when that started, like years ago now. I say years ago now. What, like it was years ago.
It is years ago.
Yeah. our whole thing was like, like what can we do to make sure that the people who are our fans and kind of support us, or the people who might not really listen to us but kind of know of us, like how can we just make a place where people feel comfortable? And part of that was like doing like weekly games nights on like our Discord and then on Twitch, and then kind of like in our Discord server we host a yearly Sandbox Awards where we basically award people based on the kind of cursed memes they've made, which is always fun and terrible.
I think
I'm stealing that idea from you.
over lockdown, it came to it, and we were like, we had very little to do, like everyone else did, and we were like, oh yeah, we're not the only ones here, so why don't we, invest our time in this, and obviously then everyone else gets something out of it as well.
And super. I mean, all I did in my lockdown was play video games anyway.
Yeah.
So if I can do that and also be on a stream and then talk to other people, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just doubled the dosage there. But let's talk about getting back into IRL with shows. So one, you're playing 2000 Trees Fest in July, and you're also coming stateside here to the US. How are we all feeling about that?
It's surreal, honestly. All of it is surreal.
It's slightly terrifying.
I am saying surreal, so basically I'm constructing mental barriers so I don't have to actually confront the fact that it is terrifying, but exhilarating.
So we did a little UK tour just as kind of lockdown was lifting back in July here, and that was just ridiculous. It was incredible. And like the London show, it started off like years ago, and then it got postponed, and every time it got postponed, it got upgraded, the venue, and by the end of it, it sold out, and it was like 600 people, and it was just absolutely mad. And like at the time, that was mad. The next London show is now 1400 cap, which is just, I can't even begin to think about it.
It's really funny, actually. The place we're playing in London next time is the place where me, Callum, and Nick saw Mayday Parade when we were like 14, and it's just gonna be so cool because we'll just be like, interesting. I was standing there.
We're up there now. What's going on?
We are Mayday Parade now.
I am the Mayday Parade now.
I am the Mayday Parade now. I'm assuming that everybody is just going like ham in these shows, because we've been to multiple shows here since we've opened back up in the US, which we never closed down. So yay. But when we go to shows now, it's like, okay, guys, relax. Like, please, you're bumping into everybody. You are not, you're just out there.
Is
no
it
masks.
Relax? You nudged me to go in the pit last weekend. Don't you be like that right now.
Okay, because I know your personality, and you saw the pit, and you were looking at it, and you're like, oh, can I go play in the pit? It's like, yes, go get out there. Get out there, get in the pit. It's just like, it's just gone insane because everybody's got all that like pent up musical aggression to get out now. I'm assuming it's the same in the UK. It's the same energy.
I think what was crazy is like I had in-ears in. We had in-ears in, and I was like, oh, this is getting too loud in my in-ears, like through the microphone. So I took them out. I was like, oh no, that's so much worse. Put them back in. I didn't really like the people like, and the thing is for context, prior to lockdown, we were a considerably smaller band. Like before we released Ramblings of Lunatic and we started getting that traction and we started doing all these things online, we had like 15,000, 20,000 monthly listeners. It was like across the world. So it was very diluted. We did a show that was like 50 people, maybe slightly more than 50 people. And yeah, it was nice. Our friends were all singing along. And then we go to 600 people and they're all screaming the lyrics back. We're like, okay, let's just put our instruments down and just walk to the barriers and just like scream with everyone. And it's just this incredible, just the most cathartic, amazing experience. But yeah, it was, 100%. It's top tier crazy.
Top tier. How are you anticipating the US tour now? like, I mean, it's probably going to pop off either way. So there's that.
We just said a lot of like concerning things, I think.
I'm just ridiculously excited to be in the. I've been learning all the US states in preparation. That is
Ooh.
that's
Name
what I've
them.
been doing. I've got a
Name
map,
all
I'm
50
filling
right
it
now.
down.
All
I know-
50 states.
This is the
no.
test.
Alaska,
Oh, no.
Alabama, Arizona.
Yeah.
That's
If you learn it
3.
alphabetically, it's very easy to do.
But I'm just so like hyped to be out there and because
Eat those
partly
Olive
being
Garden
on, like,
breadsticks.
being
All of
being like oh, we're so excited to go to Olive Garden. Jake, label manager,
yeah.
has promised to take us to Olive Garden, so we are so
Fuck
excited.
yeah.
Let's go.
He legally has to. If he doesn't, we're going to take you to Olive Garden in Chicago then.
Yeah. It's just we can't wait. But I think because we talked about being an online band, a lot of there are no barriers, there are no borders. So we do have so many American followers who join us and are in the community and are with us. And it's just, and we've done obviously lots of UK shows, but to be able to go out there and meet everyone and say hello and see everyone, I think it's just going to be overwhelmingly good in a good way.
Overwhelming and good.
I'm really excited because we're supporting Just Friends, the band Just Friends, and I'm just so excited to meet them. They seem like such cool people, and like it's just gonna be such a vibe. We're just gonna be having a good time, and it's just gonna be a great time at every show. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Just Friends is super fun live.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna. I looked at the tour page. I was like, "Yo, this kind of smacks."
It does. Right?
Yeah. I've been watching their like live videos on YouTube. And like, we're going to see that. Get to see that like for 19 nights for free. Oh, great.
For free.
You mean I only had to pay $20 to play this show? That's fantastic. Wait, this is free? Do you plan to like keep doing like obviously coming from being online and creating this community, creating everything online, and now going back into quote unquote the real world? Are you going to continue doing like a lot of these interactive things with your audience, like as much as possible, I'm assuming?
Well, so the thing is with our band, right, is we started in South London in just a back room, and we are very, very uncool people. We're just like really uncool.
Which makes you the coolest people.
We were like full misfits in our school, you know, and and you don't, I assume you don't know very much about South London, but where we were, there is like literally not very much of a live music scene, especially in the kind of rock, alt emo side. And so there was one dive bar that we could play, and it was the shoddiest place in the world. So basically, we grew up online. We grew up on Tumblr, in fandoms, in communities, and so when we were establishing ourselves, obviously it wasn't like an intentional, we need to market the online. We were just there already, and we were just already building those communities because we didn't have much of a local scene. So we went online, and we were trying to build a space that we wanted to see with the bands that we listened to. And so when lockdown came about, we weren't just like, okay, let's get online. We were already kind of there, and we were just building it as we wanted to make that, as we were saying, that safe space. So I don't think we're ever going to stop being online, because it's kind of where our community is. We want to create that local scene for everyone who doesn't have a local scene, all of the misfits, all the people who don't have people to, go to shows with. We want to create that space online for them, and then when we finally come to where they are, then they can make friends that way.
Play the card game in the queue.
Play the card game in the queue.
Yeah.
You'll have to create an online version now where you can play it online.
Oh man.
Need to. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's just why I don't know why we would ever stop having fun with
I mean, that's been more impactful. And I know that like trying to reach the US audience too, it's sometimes much more difficult when you are in the UK, or we talked with between you and me, they're in Australia. So it's harder sometimes to have this type of outreach. So I feel that you having this is so beneficial that you already have it established going into this tour, that if somebody says, hey, I like you guys, but I want to keep up to date, instead of just on social media and be like, hey, join the Discord or something. So it's like this kind of really cool, like person to person experience that's like much more developed than even some other like bands that are here in the US.
Yeah. A lot of people in the so-called music industry have told us that we've done it backwards. So rather than do the shows and build and starting a community and then kind of grow and go online, we've just skipped all that, gone straight online, built up that community online, and now we're going out and doing the shows. And we're like, we've done it backwards. We've just done it our way. We've just done it our way. Different to what you expected.
Recently, industry people have been approaching us and basically have been going, "You have a huge following, but I have no idea who you are," because we've just gone around all of the industry so far.
Yeah, it's like the internet.
Speaking about having, sorry.
Oh no,
I was going to say having no borders has just been crazy because like the last show we did a 50-person show. It sold out in like 3 minutes just to release the album as an album launch acoustic show. And 2 people flew from Malta, which is an island near Italy, just to see us. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Actually, that's probably not quite where it is, but you know, it's in the Mediterranean Sea.
It's in the Mediterranean.
That's where like Bring Me the Horizon has their festivals. That's all I know at this point.
Yeah, they have a festival going on. Oh wait, they're in the chat. Rianne 02.
Hey!
Welcome, Rianne.
Lovely.
Yeah. It's a lot of artists though. Like, I mean, we literally had 2 years where there were no shows. So then you have to build everything online or you just sit and wait. You're like, oh, I'll just write or I'll just sit and wait. I won't show anything about what I'm doing and I won't create anything and we won't put anything on the internet. And it's like, why would you do that? There's so many young, hungry bands that are like, dude, fine. I'll just put it all online. I'll play a show. I'll play a guitar in front of 2 viewers, you know, who cares? But like, that is the thing that's going to create like lifelong fans, like many people who are here, people who are like, I want to follow this band. I want to talk to them. I want to be involved with them. And it blows my mind. But I also am like, the music industry is stuck in their old ways. And they're like, you can't do it that way. That's not, don't do it that way. Do it the other way.
Well,
but
that's
that's
the
my
thing,
way.
though. You have them coming and being like, I have no idea who you are, but your numbers are phenomenal. So if anything, like you're just playing the field better than them.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
It reminds me of like, okay, so it reminds me of back in the 90s, and this is just a random fact. 50 Cent, you know how he got popular because he basically would make mixtapes because it was a really big in, I can't remember, I think it was New York at the time. It was making these mixtapes, ripping a load of songs off, and he would just put his own songs on these mixtapes and sell them. And everyone was like, oh yeah, 50, and that's how he got popular. And it's like, a load of people are always just when people aren't paying attention and they are that, as you say, hungry to do it, you find a way, and that is just by reaching the people directly, just going, okay, if you want to listen, you can come listen. Not going to the higher ups or whatever. Who needs to do that? No one.
Yeah, it's very old fashioned, and I think people are just mad. Lizzie, do you have our questions from Instagram? Because I know we have a lot of people here, and I want to make sure we get to our Instagram questions. I feel like a lot of people in the chat also got there. Got them in there.
Got him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the most one that I think we usually don't ask about the band name because as I teach my students, you never ask that in an interview. But what are bears and why are they in trees?
We ask ourselves the same question every day.
It was revealed to us in a dream, a collective fever dream.
There are so many creative stories for why we have this band name because the actual story is really quite boring. We were really trying to come up with a bad name for so long.
Royal Jellyfish.
Pet Yeti.
Dinosaur Fight Club.
The Basement People.
Yeah, there's lots.
Loads of people.
Kind of on that one.
We resorted to, as you do, we resort to a band name generator, and it came up with Bears in Submarines.
And that's
That's silly goofy. That's
We
far
just
too silly goofy
absolutely
for us.
ripped into that band name for about half an hour, going, "That's the worst thing I've ever heard." Oh my god, Bears in Submarines! That's so stupid.
Bears in aeroplanes.
Why are they in the submarine?
Bears in I don't know office blocks. Bears in I don't know trees. That
Bears in
sounds
trees.
quite good, actually.
It sounds like the more you navigated away from like vehicles of transportation, it was better.
Yeah. Like a bear could be in a tree, but a bear couldn't be in a submarine.
Why is it
That's
a submarine?
insane.
Really?
We're
That's just
about
wild.
realistic goals.
Thank you. So are you know what? So are bears. Bears set
they know they want.
measurable, achievable goals, and they reach them. And they know submarines off limits. We are too
And
big.
that's why they succeed.
Yeah, too many claws. I'll read the next one. Is there any place in America you're specifically excited to go to next year, except for Olive Garden? Where do you want to go besides Olive Garden?
Oh, there's Denny's, there's IHOP, there's Jack.
Just so the fast.
It's all restaurants.
Are you excited for Chili's?
Waffle House.
Because I don't know if you guys have Chili's out there.
Yeah, go get
What's the thing? Welcome to Chili's.
Welcome to Chili's.
I want to go to Walmart. I want to see.
Interesting. Interesting.
You have to go to a Walmart like before
they
midnight
have a
or
gun
at
section
midnight.
at Walmart. Does that actually
Now,
exist?
yes. Now,
Yeah.
Depends
so
also
are you
on the
saying
state.
it depends on the state? Are you saying you want to go there because you just want to be like, wait, you can just buy a gun, you can just buy a weapon right here? Like,
No.
Because if
I
that's
just-
it,
I
I
want
can
to
tell
I've
you.
heard so much about Walmart.
Okay.
But I
Because I could
do
tell you
wanna
a better
kind of
place to go.
I do want to stand with like a carton of milk next to some guns and be like,
Mhm.
why can this happen? That's
Mhm.
so bizarre. What else? What else is
I really want to go to California.
California?
I feel like that
Mm.
was that the original question about
Yeah,
the
where do you
state,
wanna
or
go?
Where do you
Yeah,
want to
sure.
go?
Well, it just said where do you want to
Well,
go? It could be
places
anywhere.
in general.
I haven't
Walmart
heard
is a
of
place. It's
What kind of-
also
what
a
kind of
hell.
food do they do?
I'm very excited to go to Chicago because we've got like a very
yeah.
big audience there. I don't know. I like everywhere, to be honest.
I just want to go on holiday.
I want to go on holiday.
Yeah, of course.
Anywhere. Don't mind.
I feel like you're gonna have the same weather here, so I feel like you're gonna be like, fuck Chicago, and then
Terrified for what to expect for the weather because we've been told that like one side we're going to be really warm and then we're going to suddenly get very, very cold very quickly.
Yes.
yep.
That's today. Today
I'm
is
a bit
terrified.
today is 60 degrees. It's gonna get probably down to 30 degrees tonight. So welcome everybody.
What is
Mhm.
that?
That's how we
What-
live.
Right, yeah, Fahrenheit.
You're the only country
Oh,
in the
yeah.
world that does this.
Yeah, you guys
I
should
know.
catch up. Is all I'm saying. Like we've been doing it right this whole time.
Right, you're the progressive ones using Fahrenheit.
There was like a bit that was like
Listen,
the only people that
melting
are
gun
using the only people that are using the empirical like foot, inch, and all that are like the U.S. and these other two countries, and they were like, "Huh, you don't usually hear about those two other countries being so like up there in intelligence and like knowing what they're doing." It's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
15 degrees Celsius for everyone else.
Yes, 15
That's
degrees.
like a nice British summertime.
That's like I'm sunbathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's gonna be worse than that. Way worse than
see.
that.
Listen, you can always just go up to the bean any old time though and see it. So
The bean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Cold
big
bean.
shiny bean.
The bean.
bears and trees meet up at the bean in Chicago.
That's another thing we've got to see in America is all the random big objects you have. Because also apparently there's
Yes.
like outside Walmart you have massive Red Bulls.
The
And then
Target.
A Target. Oh,
Target.
yeah, Target the big Red Bulls. So we got
Yeah.
the Target. And
Can you push them? Can you like play with them?
I
Or are
don't. I
They
have no
are-
You
idea.
can just sit on them. That's it. Just
Okay.
sit on them.
When I say this, it's going to sound like, wait, what's going on
Uh-huh.
in America? They're there to protect the store in case somebody drives into it.
Through it.
America.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
America.
I mean,
You're right. There, you know what? Everyone says
They're
there's
called
culture shock,
Target.
but-
They've got a big Target on the front. I get it.
mean-
Like you see a huge Target, you're like, I'm gonna drive into
Yeah,
that.
like
I get it. I
Listen,
do get
red
it.
Your
red is
fault.
a psychologically angry inducing color, like proven. So I don't know what they
I'm a
expect.
psychologically angry person. No,
Yeah.
that's not. I'm very
that
jolly.
is nonsense and insane.
I'm quite jolly, actually.
Do you have advice for people who have tickets to your concert but have never been to a concert before? You're going to be my first concert.
yeah.
Yeah, you're in for a very lovely time, a very, very swell time. I think just in like what we've really loved about our show so far is that our fans who don't know each other will kind of take each other in and kind of like form like little families like in the queue outside the show. And I think that kind of stuff, like if you're comfortable and you feel up to it, just talking to other fans can be really swell. And if you look scared or anxious or uncomfortable, someone's going to come and say hello or check you're okay.
I think like also we get a lot of people that say it's their first gig, so chances are you're probably alone.
Yeah.
Make friends.
It's just standard etiquette. If you see someone who's uncomfortable, go ask them, make sure they're okay. And if you are uncomfortable, don't be afraid to just ask someone for some help. If you see someone fall down, pick them up. If you fall down, expect to be picked up. You know.
And I'm sure every band says it, but we do have the nicest fans in the world. They are just so lovely. There was a few shows that like people have gone through. I think it's actually one of our moderators on the on our Discord server has given people name badges and they can put their name and their pronouns on kind of on a little sticky note so that everyone kind of just has a bit of a safe time, and you can go up to someone and you know their name and you can talk to them, and it's just been like so sweet to see. Like that's not us. That is just them, just fans, just doing something great. It's really sweet.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, man, you're not gonna get that in America. You're gonna get
Everyone goes to a Bears and Trees show. You have to have a name tag of some sort. I don't care. Tag. Bring your one from like Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
Get those "Hello, my name is" stickers and just put it on. Like, we're gonna get back into the real world, and it's gonna be like, I don't know anyone's name. I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know their username. I don't know what.
You just go up and you yell, "Hey, bestie," or "dude," and then you go from there.
I will not do that.
A very good tactic is just stop talking to people.
That's what Brian does.
Yep, 100%.
There you go.
100%.
Mission accomplished.
I'm like, I have to go back to the bar. Hold on, and then I never come back. Just
oh my god.
On.
So we have another question asking about how tall are y'all? And I'm going to insert this. Are any of you short kings?
What? How? Okay. How tall? Okay. How tall do you reckon we are? That's what I want to know.
You need to say it in feet and inches.
I'm 5'1.5", so everyone's taller than me.
You need to say it in feet and inches, though.
Yeah.
You cannot say it in metric.
Yeah, we actually don't use metric for height. We're very weird in the UK. We like to pretend we're better than everyone, but we're really.
You could have both, but instead you only have the one that you gave us. History lesson. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the stream.
Educational time.
Oh.
But yeah, I want to hear guesses. What are the guesses?
Okay, I'm gonna give you.
Who's the tallest?
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a thought here. Is that many of the people that I have met in bands are shorter than me, and I am 6'1". So I would say probably around 5'8" to 5'10" ish is an average.
Okay.
And
who is tallest?
Based on the perspective that I'm seeing right here, I think the short ones are in front and the tall ones are in back. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Yeah.
I think Nick might be tall. I could be wrong. Everyone's taller than me though, because I'm 5'1.5".
Yeah.
You're looking at everybody.
Everyone is taller.
I mean, they were some pretty accurate guesses.
So Nick is the tallest. How tall are you, Nick?
Nice.
Let's go.
So 5'11".
There we go.
Nice.
George, then it's Callum. Callum is the next
5'10".
And then you're 5'7".
5'7",
I'm
yeah.
5'8", so I'm like an inch taller than George. So
Nice.
we're pretty much exactly bang on. I know, like, I'm 5'8" / 173 centimeters, if anyone wants to use metric.
Yeah. For the metric users in the audience.
You know, metric fans, the metric stands in the audience.
Yeah. You know, cool.
Metric stands. Shout out to the metric stand.
Yo, what's your favorite form of measurement? I don't know.
I want a kilometer.
Like, oh, you look converting? Let's go.
Why did I learn about decimeters and decameters? I've never heard any single human being use them. Like, why the fuck do I need to know this?
Decameter. What?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
So like there's millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter. Then there's decameter, something. Yeah. So there's like additional ones in between there. So like if you have like, it's guys, look, it's all dumb and stupid. Deca is 10 centimeters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds fake.
Yeah.
Stop measuring. We're an anti-measurement band now.
Things are just what they are. Why do you have to know what it is?
Listen, I don't
We
know
don't need to know
measurements.
the
I've gone through upper university without really knowing measurements. Everyone's fine without it. We're
Yeah.
fine, everybody.
It's fine. As somebody who loves data, I should shut up right now. No, I need to know. I need to know everything.
I love data.
This question was for Nick and Ian, but I'll ask it to everybody. What songs on the album were your favorite to write? Also, is there a way to tell who's written which track? And if anybody has any favorite tracks from the album?
Interesting. So I think the premise of the question is that me and Nick write the lyrics of the songs, but we don't write the songs. We write a long list of lyrics that are condensed into kind of specific stories and songs we want to do, almost like we write poems, and then we'll bring those to the band, and then collectively we will just kind of jam until we find like a motif, a vibe that we like, and then we'll sift through the lyrics and we'll find what best lyrics fit that motif. So I think generally we all write all of the songs, and then the lyrics will go through transformations as that song is happening, depending on what we all think. So what was everyone's favorite song writing?
I was going to try and differentiate the difference. It's also a fun game that me and George get to play to try and work out who's written each song. And there are like subtle clues. So Nick's lyrics tend to be, although it does change a bit now, more narrative driven. So like more of a story. You're looking at me. I'm hoping for reassurance.
That's always that used to be the case. I feel like that's changed quite considerably.
I think it tended to be more narrative driven, and Ian's were perhaps like about an experience. Although saying that Ian's, for example, wrote Little Cellist on the album, and that's very much follows a kind of narrative, and so it does. There's not a surefire way. Long words tends to be Ian. Not to say Nick doesn't use long words, but if there's a lot of long words, it's Ian.
I listened to a lot of like alternative hip hop, and so I really like weird rhyme schemes. And so if you hear like a weird rhyme scheme, like in one of the songs, Array of Light, I rhyme an entire line with another entire line. And I was like, yeah. That was fun. But Nick often will forego rhyme schemes to provide a more tangible kind of feeling in the words that is more narrative based. So you're more picking very specific words to provide a feeling within that narrative, whereas I like to pick specific words because of the sounds they make sometimes. But it's always got the meaning behind it as well.
And favorite songs from the album
that were written. Favorite song to write.
Favorite song to write.
I mean, everybody should go around and say their favorite song from the album anyway.
It's
we could do
impossible
that.
to pick. I think. They're all my babies.
Whole record.
My current favorite song from the album, I feel like that I misses at the moment, is Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent is a coffee cup. That's my current favorite song from the album. And my favorite song to write was Cut Corners on Short Walks.
Yeah.
Because we were on we try and do band getaways because we're cute like that. So we before lockdown, so what, 3 years ago, we went to the beach basically and stayed in their house for a long weekend. And we came back after spending like the night on the beach. It was probably like midnight. I was so incredibly sunburned. It was painful. And we just that's not really pointing to the story, but I feel like I should add it in. So we sat
Very
there
important.
in just with acoustic instruments, and we just went ham on this song, and that's what came out, and it felt so just authentic, and just it just kind of happened. And sometimes you write a song and you have to it's like putting teeth. You're going through so much to try and make it work, but this song just kind of it just worked. And so it was great fun to write.
Definitely.
I think in terms of writing, my favorite was Little Cellist, and that is purely down to Callum's string arranging. I can take no credit. None of us can take any credit apart from Callum, because I remember writing the song, and there were these funny little gaps that needed something filling, and we were kind of playing around with ideas, and then you kept coming back to oh, I'm gonna put this little idea in. And I was and then eventually it grew on me, and then I was actually, that's a really good idea. And then all the strings in the choruses that layer up, and they're all written really cleverly, and they interweave, and it's just so beautiful.
Credit where credit is due. We did the little melody, the da 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 da. We did come out of that together.
Yeah, I knew that.
Take the credit.
I knew that.
Well done, me as well. Clearly.
What about you, Nick?
My favorite to write was Cut Corners, but my favorite song is Confidant. I think Commandant doesn't get enough respect, quite frankly. It's going out to everyone in the chat.
The first song
Respect on the name.
not in 4/4.
Exactly.
I think to write, my favorite song to write, I think Cut Corners is up there, but I think Klimt Painting was one of my favorites because, okay, so what happened was me and Nick had a long conversation about like themes that we were writing about in our lyrics. And then after that conversation, I just kind of sat down and this poem just kind of happened. And so we were talking about, okay, bringing songs to this songwriting session that we were doing at the time. And I was just like, oh yeah, I just have this poem. I showed Nick and he was like, we're making this a song right now. I was like, okay. And then so we started and Nick was like, I just want this poem to be like sung. It's a flow. It's not meant to be like a normal song structure. Let's just create a flow. And so Callum was sitting there, I was like, okay, let's create something that has a bit more of a flow, has less of a structure to it. So Callum starts playing this bit on the piano. And then we just decide to like make, it's like 3 bars of 4/4 and then 1 bar of 3/4.
Basically, it skips a beat every 4 bars.
Every 4 bars. And it's just really weird. And we were like, whoa, it really adds this kind of wonky flavor to it. And I'm just kind of singing like as I'm reading the lyrics. And Callum's just like blasting these harmonies over the top. And we just like building and building and building and building and building. Then when we sit down to record it, we decide to like really drop down before the last like the last bit. We add like a bit of a recording that I had on my phone from an exercise we did at uni when I was studying psychology. It's like, what's the behavior you want to change? I think I need to get more sleep. And that goes into the song. And then Callum writes this insane trumpet part for the end as well, where it's like this full on last stand and it's the last bit of the song. And it's just like, when I heard that, it was insane. And like, just these kind of, these swells of, it was just like really cool. At every stage, I was like, just taken back by the new experience. And every time we would listen to it, we would just sit there in silence for like 30 seconds, for like a minute. And because it was just like, so like, oh, wow, yeah, that's it. And it came from a poem that I thought I was just going to be throwing away. Like, that was what was cool about it. And it was just
how they all
happen.
happen.
Yeah, right? So, yeah.
Cool. We have a couple more minutes before we have to wrap this up. So I want to give you a chance to throw out all of your plugs. Where can I'm sure everybody in the stream knows, but where can everybody find all of your stuff, all the videos, all of the I guess the Discord too, if people want to join your Discord and hang out with you?
Yeah, I think our Discord, our TikTok, our Instagram, our Twitter. We're still on Tumblr. We got Snapchat recently, and that's terrible.
Yes, Snapchat
so
is always very terrible.
Just wonderful.
What else? Patreon. We are on YouTube. Yeah, I think we're like almost everywhere now. Pretty cool.
Just look. We'll be there.
Just look.
Literally, who else's name bears in trees?
Yeah. I honestly found it right away. Like I was like, oh, let me just like get all their. It's.
If you go on images, you don't just get bears in trees, like
literal
bears in trees.
Literal trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now got to the point where we're in there for a little bit, and then you get bears in, and then you get actual bears in trees.
I mean, I should add that like bears are like goal oriented, but they are very photo shy. So you know, while they do often end up in trees.
Full circle.
Yeah, they're just like no. Yeah, they're too focused on their goals. They're like, hey, I'm not doing this for the likes. I'm not doing this for the social interaction. I'm doing this because these are my goals, you know?
We could learn a lot from bears.
We could honestly.
Yeah, we can really take a chapter out of that. So
Yeah.
wait, if you guys are on Tumblr, are you guys on like grunge 2014 Tumblr like all of us were, or are you creating your own aesthetic?
And like, when grunge Tumblr was happening, we were on like shit posting Tumblr. And before that, we were
I think
on
it was just
like,
Tumblr.
Tumblr. We were on the really bad parts of Tumblr. But the parts that are still there, which is why we're still there. Every day we're on Tumblr. No shame.
Do what I love about Tumblr is the asks we get. Just Tumblr is just a place for just random questions you don't get anywhere else. And
Yes.
so I love just seeing all of those.
I was just gonna say we've been on Tumblr since like 2012. Like we've been back when like memes were being created, when like none pizza left beef was first
Oh
circulated.
God, never forget.
Veterans of Tumblr.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know, right?
I came into Tumblr a bit late. I was real big on MySpace. I'm like, this is it. I put all my chips in on MySpace, and here we all are.
It's okay.
this
I was a Tumblr
Twitch
famous one for
podcast.
both of us.
Yeah.
In 2011.
Yeah, I am also like, well, I don't know. I don't. We haven't talked about age on this pod, which is good because I always feel super fucking old. But now I don't. Now I don't. Now I don't have to. Well, do we want to ask one more Instagram question? Do you guys have time for one more?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me see. You guys know? This is a good one. Which song do you like to play live the most, and why?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because we haven't yet played the album live, apart from the launch show we did where we played acoustically.
Yeah.
And so, favorite song to currently play live, I think, is Reverberate, because everyone joins in with the final chorus, and it is just like, whoa, this is crazy. But again, back to my favorite song from the album. Also, my favorite song I'm excited to play live is Heaven Sent Us a Coffee Cup, because I just want to see people busting a groove, busting an old school groove in the pit. That's what I want to see.
That's what I want to see.
That's what I wanna
Old
see.
school group.
I definitely agree with the Reverberate bit. I also really like when we play our song Fly Out to Alaska. When we play it live, we often put a huge samba break in at the end. It was the first one we do, so we like blast. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, this is cool. And then at the end, we're like, and we just do samba break. Callum plays the whistle. Yeah, it's like sick.
Wow.
And everyone's
my
like, it's brilliant.
I like how you had the whistle like ready with you.
Yeah, I was
Or,
like, wait, that was just here? It's been here the whole time.
Everyone's got a whistle.
I was going to say Heaven Sent, and like, I don't want to give it away, but we've changed up a few things for live. You'll have to come to a show to find out.
Ooh, the tease.
I like playing them all because
Ah.
like so much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, no, they're all good boys. They're all good boys. They mean well.
All the songs mean well. Well, okay, awesome. That was guys, that was so much fun. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Thank
You
you
guys
so much.
super cool. Yeah, we are very excited to hang out with you when you're in Chicago in February.
Absolutely.
We're bringing breadsticks through the show.
Let's do it.
Oh my god, yes.
It won't be unlimited because we
We have to
go
grab
back
them
and
from
forth.
Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get deep dish pizza.
Yeah, we got deep dish.
Okay,
The
we
cheese
can
is
get
under the
it.
sauce.
Yeah, but
Under
deep
the
dish
sauce.
pizza is
Under
not
the
like
sauce.
it's not like Chicago, right? That's like what everybody thinks of Chicago, but then you're here and it's like, look, we'll help you. We'll get
It'll
you the
keep you
right stuff, you
warm.
know.
On a cold day.
Oh yeah, it fills you with warmth and joy, but it is not
And
like
cheese.
Chicago, you know. We're apparently just gonna feed you a lot of food and just bring a bunch of food to the show.
That's all I'm looking for. That's all I want. is to experience the culture.
The culture.
The culture with the gabas and the ghouls.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
the culture. Hey. Awesome. Okay, well, Bears and Trees, check them out on everything. Go to the internet, follow, like, comment. 1 million streams of the album by what's today? Thursday? Monday. You have till Monday
When
to
this
get it
comes
to
out.
1 million
When this drops as a
streams.
podcast.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
I want to see it on your 2022 Wrapped on Spotify. Don't fuck it up.
Let's go.
Yeah. Y'all, it was
Get
so
the
much
whistle
fun.
in there. Get the
Get the
whistle.
whistle.
In there.
How are we not whistling?
So loud.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for being on the pod.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
much.